let's just stick on Bangladesh for the moment. And while a lot of talk was about Shakib Hasan and he's been brilliant, I think overall as a team they showed today that Shakib Hasan went, Mushfiqur Rahim went, even down to Saifuddin, who we knew had the reputation, but he showed that temperament down the order.
You know, we discussed this right at the get-go. We discussed that Bangladesh is a team that we'll have to earn the victory from, and we did have to do that. As in, they played with enormous amount of intent through the whole 50 overs, despite at different points one could have lost hope and said, you know, this is a dead rubber from here on in. But they didn't give up hope. They knew that they were, if they could sustain certain partnerships, and which they did, and they had the intent along the whole course of the 50 innings. There was intent. There was intent to score runs. There was intent to score boundaries. You know, they tried, even though the wicket was getting harder and harder to bat on. They kept trying, and they got so close. They got to about 28, 29 runs close. You know, so you know it was a well-earned victory, but due respects to Bangladesh for the way they've batted and bowled.
Yes, if there's one box they didn't tick today, while you'll see the name Shakib down at least in 4 of those partnerships, they would have liked to have converted one of those first 4 partnerships into 70, 80, 90.
Yeah.
Now, well as they played, that's the one that they would want
I
to
think
take.
that was their primary problem. The fact that other than Shakib, none of the top of the batsmen, all of them got settled. But basically between the other 4 top batsmen, you've got 3 20s and a 30, which tells you they all got in, they all got set, but they just couldn't convert. And their only really big partnership, their 50-run partnership, came right at the end with Saifuddin and Sabir out there. And what was interesting, you know, what I was looking at is the ages of this Bangladesh team, because you see, you have 2 very different groups out here. One is the Tamim, obviously Shakib, Mashrafe, that group which is, you know, mid-30s off. But look at the other side. You have, you know, Saifuddin, 22 years old, you know. Sabir is not too old, he's just 27 years old. Litton is young, Shomo Sarkar is young. So you have a whole new bunch of cricketers who are coming in, who are equally fearless, and who come the next World Cup will have experience in their hands. They've not been scared. Even when, you know, Shakib's got out, you thought they'd just fold over like a pack of cards. They didn't. They just kept going. And at one point, they got it down to the run rate to about 9. And remember, when you get it down to about 9-10 with just 3-4 overs to go, 1-6, 1 top edge, and you get nervous. You're already wondering about where to bowl Shami. So Indian team is already worried about where the next over from Shami. Do I do 49th? Do I do 50th? So they got us into that kind of a position with Shakib out for at least 5 overs. And that means that these guys are capable of playing and beating anyone on their day. Yes, they were undermanned today. They still have a lot of flaws in their game. They don't have a great bowling attack in all conditions. But they are fighters, and they're not going to back away from any team in world cricket today.